Assalamu alaikum friends. I hope that you all will be fine. Friends, in this video I am going to discuss an important topic of protein metabolism, and that is phenylalanine and tyrosine metabolism. It is a very important topic. We will cover this topic under the headings of their metabolism, then the formation of specialized products, then inborn error metabolic disorders. Okay, so let's start our lecture with the metabolism of phenylalanine and tyrosine. Okay, metabolism. First of all, this phenylalanine, this phenylalanine, it converts into tyrosine by action of by an action of phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme. Phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme is an important enzyme. Okay, so in this reaction, the phenylalanine, it converts into the tyrosine by an action of phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, and here this O2, it gets incorporated in this reaction, and here there is release of H2O, and there is utilization of BH4, that is tetrahydrobiotatin. It is a coenzyme. Tetrahydrobiotatin, which converts into BH2, and this BH4, it gets regenerates. Okay, and by the help of NADPH, NADPH and H plus, and there is a formation of NADP plus with the help of an enzyme, that is reductase, dihydrobiotarin reductase enzyme. I am repeating that this phenylalanine, it converts into the tyrosine by an action of phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme. There is the incorporation of O2, oxygen, and there is the release of H2O, that is a water molecule. And here BH4, it also utilized, and this is a coenzyme which converts into BH2. Okay, this BH2 converts into BH4, and this BH4 gets regenerated by an action of dihydrobiotarin reductase enzyme, and here NADPH and H plus, they gets utilized, and there is a formation of NADP plus. Now the another name of this tyrosine is para hydroxyphenylalanine. Phenylalanine. Okay, so in the next reaction, this para hydroxyphenylalanine, by the action of enzyme, and that is transaminase enzyme. Okay, and there here alpha keto glutarate, it converts into glutamate. Okay, and there is a formation of para hydroxyphenyl pyruvate. Okay, pyruvate. With the help of this transaminase enzyme, this para-hydroxyphenylalanine, it forms para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate. Okay. In next reaction, with the help of hydroxylase enzyme, And this enzyme, this hydroxylase enzyme, it requires vitamin c and copper ion. Okay, and it leads to the formation of homogentisate. Okay, homogentisate. With the help of hydroxylase enzyme, it requires vitamin C and copper ion, and there is a formation of homogentisate. In next reaction, this homogentisate by action of oxidase enzyme, homogentisate oxidase enzyme, there is a incorporation of oxygen and leads to the formation of 4 mallyl acetoacetate. Okay, 4 mallyl acetoacetate with the help of this enzyme, homogentisate oxidase enzyme. In next reaction, by action of isomerase enzyme, there is a formation of 4 fumaryl acetoacetate. With the help of this isomerase enzyme, there is a formation of 4 fumaryl acetoacetate. Okay. In next reaction, there is the action of hydrolase enzyme. Hydrolase enzyme, and it leads to the formation of fumarate and acetoacetate. Okay. Fumarate and acetoacetate. This fumarate in next reaction with the help of gluconeogenesis process, it forms glucose, and this acetoacetate, it forms fat. Okay, so this is the metabolism of phenylalanine and tyrosine. With the help of this hydroxylase enzyme, there is a formation of tyrosine. Another name is para-hydroxyphenylalanine. With the help of this transaminase enzyme, there is a formation of para-hydroxyphenyl pyruvate. Next reaction, by action of this hydroxylase enzyme, there is a formation of homogentisate. With the help of oxidase enzyme, there is a formation of 4-mallyl acetoacetate, and with the help of isomerase enzyme, there is a formation of 4-fumaryl acetoacetate, and with the help of hydrolase enzyme, there is a formation of fumarate and acetoacetate. This fumarate, it is an intermediate of TCA cycle through gluconeogenesis process. Gluconeogenesis means synthesis of glucose from non-carbohydrate precursor. There is a formation of glucose and acetoacetate. Acetoacetate, it is ketone body. It is the form of ketone body, and it forms the fat. Okay. Now coming toward the some disorders, some inborn error metabolic disorder from here. The deficiency of this phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme. The deficiency of this enzyme, phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, it leads to disorder, and that is phenylketonuria. That is phenylketonuria. The deficiency of phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, it leads to disorder, that is phenylketonuria. Okay. Now here, the deficiency of this transaminase enzyme, it leads to disorder, and that is tyrosinemia type 2. Okay, tyrosinemia type 2. Okay, now the deficiency of this hydroxylase enzyme, it leads to disorder, and that is neonatal tyrosinemia. Neonatal tyrosinemia. The deficiency of this hydroxylase enzyme, it leads to disorder that is neonatal tyrosinemia. Now the deficiency of this homogentisate oxidase enzyme, it leads to disorder, and that is okay, and that is and that is alkaptonuria. That is alkaptonuria. Alkaptonuria. The deficiency of these isomerase enzyme and hydrolase enzyme, both. The deficiency of this isomerase and hydrolase enzyme, it leads to disorder, and that is tyrosinemia, type 1. Tyrosinemia type 1. So these are some inborn error metabolic disorder. The deficiency of this phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, it leads to disorder that is phenylketonuria, PKU, phenylketonuria. The deficiency of this transaminase enzyme, it leads to disorder that is tyrosinemia type 2. The deficiency of this hydroxylase enzyme, it leads to disorder that is neonatal tyrosinemia. The deficiency of homogentisate oxidase enzyme, it leads to disorder that is alkaptonuria. And deficiency of isomerase and hydrolase enzyme, it leads to disorder that is tyrosinemia type 1. So this is the phenylalanine and tyrosine metabolism and some inborn error metabolic disorder. Now coming toward the formation of specialized product. Okay, specialized product formation. The formation of specialized product. Specialized product formation. Now the first one is melanin. Melanin, that is a pigment which is present in our skin, hairs and eyes. Skin, hairs and eyes. And how there is a formation of melanin. Let's see. Okay, first of all, the tyrosine by an action of tyrosinase enzyme, it forms dopa, that is dihydroxyphenylalanine. Dopa means dihydroxyphenylalanine. In next reaction, again by action of this tyrosinase enzyme, it leads to product formation that is dopaquinone. Dopaquinone. Okay. Now this dopaquinone undergoes two main pathway through spontaneous reaction. Through spontaneous reaction, it leads to series of reaction, and here by incorporation of cysteine, there is a formation of red melanin. Now here through spontaneous reaction, through series of reaction. First of all, there is a formation of leukodopachrome. Then by action of again tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of 5,6 dihydroxyindole. Again by action of tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of indole 5,6 quinone. Again by action of tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of melanochrome. And in the last reaction, again by action of tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of black melanin. So in this way the melanin gets synthesized. I am repeating that tyrosine, by action of this tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of dopa, that is dihydroxyphenylalanine. With the help of this tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of dopaquinone, and this dopaquinone undergoes two main steps or pathway in, through spontaneous reaction. It leads to series of reaction. First one is leukodopachrome. With the help of tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of 5,6-dihydroxyindole. Again, by action of tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of indole 5,6-quinone. Again, by action of tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of melanochrome, and by action of tyrosinase enzyme, there is a formation of black melanin. And here, through incorporation of cysteine amino acid, there is a formation of red melanin, and that's how the melanin gets synthesized. This is the first product that forms by the metabolism of phenylalanine and tyrosine. Now coming toward the another product formation, and now listen here. The inhibition of these enzyme, that yeah, deficiency of these enzyme, tyrosinase enzyme, leads to disorder, and that is albinism. Okay, albinism. Now coming toward another product, and that is the synthesis of dopamine. The synthesis of dopamine in central nervous system. Dopamine. First of all, this tyrosine by action of hydroxylase enzyme, and here this BH4, it converts into BH2, and again it gets regenerates. NADPH and H plus, they form NADP plus. Okay, and this tyrosine, it converts into dopa, dihydroxyphenylalanine, and in next reaction, with the help of decarboxylase enzyme, there is a loss of carbon dioxide, and there is a formation of dopamine, and that's how the dopamine gets synthesized. I am repeating that this tyrosine, by action of this tyrosine hydroxylase enzyme, there is a formation of dopa, that is dihydroxyphenylalanine, and here BH4 converts into BH2, and this BH4 gets regenerated by this NADPH and H plus. This converts into NADP plus. This dopa converts into dopamine by action of this decarboxylase enzyme, and there is a formation of dopamine. Now another product is, that is the synthesis of norepinephrine and epinephrine in adrenal medulla. Okay. Now let's see this dopamine, this dopamine, this by action of hydroxylase enzyme, this dopamine by action of this hydroxylase enzyme, and here it utilizes vitamin C and copper ion. and there is a formation of norepinephrine. There is a formation of norepinephrine, and in next reaction, with the help of methyl transferase enzyme, and here S-adenosyl methionine, it converts into S-adenosyl homocysteine, because with the help of this enzyme the methyl group, it gets transported toward the norepinephrine, and it converts into the epinephrine. The difference in between norepinephrine and epinephrine is the epinephrine, it contains methyl group, while norepinephrine, it does not contain methyl group. So that's the third product formation, that is the synthesis of norepinephrine and epinephrine in adrenal medulla. Now coming toward the last product, that is synthesis of T3 and T4 in thyroid gland, that is triiodothyronine and tetraiodothyronine. Okay, so let's see. Okay, the synthesis of T3 and T4 in thyroid gland, triiodothyronine and tetraiodothyronine. The first step is that there is an activation of iodine. This is the first step, activation of iodine. The second step is attachment of tyrosine residues to activated iodine. The third one is coupling reaction, and the last one is proteolysis. Okay, now let's see. First one is activation of iodine. So first, suppose that this is the iodine that gets activated iodine. This activated iodine, and here there is attachment of tyrosine residues to this activated iodine. There is a attachment of tyrosine residue. There is attachment of tyrosine residue of thyroglobulin, and this complex, it leads to the formation of monoiodotyrosine. Now here this there is a activation of 2 iodine, and in next reaction there is attachment of tyrosine residues of thyroglobulin, and this complex leads to the formation of diiodotyrosine. Okay, now this monoiodotyrosine and diiodotyrosine, through coupling reaction, they leads to the formation of T3, that is triiodothyronine, and this diiodotyrosine and diiodotyrosine, through coupling reaction, they leads to the formation of T4, and that is tetraiodothyronine. So that's how T3 and T4 get synthesized in thyroid gland, and there are various biological function of this T3 and T4. So I'm repeating, there are 4 steps: activation of iodine, attachment of tyrosine residue to activated iodine, coupling reaction and proteolysis. So this is the activated iodine. To activated iodine, there is attachment of the tyrosine residue of thyroglobulin, and there is a formation of monoiodotyrosine, and here there are activation of two iodine molecule, and these there is attachment of tyrosine residue of thyroglobulin to two molecule of the activated iodine, and it leads to the formation of diiodotyrosine. Through coupling reaction there is a formation of T3, and this the coupling reaction of diiodotyrosine and diiodotyrosine, it leads to the formation of T4 in thyroid gland. So friends, it is all about the phenylalanine and tyrosine metabolism, the formation of specialized product, and inborn and metabolic disorder. If you have any query, you may ask in comment section. Keep watching and thank you.